It is also focused on what more needs to be done to create healthier communities. So today we have with us Director General Pushpa Gujarat Science City, Dr. Nilima Jairath, Dr. Anjali Arora, Associate Professor, Punjab Institute of Medical Sciences, Jalandhar, and Director Pushpa Gujarat Science City, Dr. Rajesh Grover. I request Director General Pushpa Gujarat Science City, Dr. Nilima Jairath, to kindly address the participants. Ma'am, please.
A very good afternoon, everybody. Dr. Anjali Arora, who's the speaker of the day, students, teachers, and my colleagues. Well, as we celebrate the World Health Day today, the first question which comes to our mind is, what is health? How do we define health? And while I was looking at the Oxford Dictionary to kind of officially find out the definition of health, it said that health is a state of being free from illness and injury. But if you look at it, is health only this? I personally feel that health is much beyond this. And so I also tried to look at how does WHO define health? And that gives a much more comprehensive statement, which says that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely absence of disease or infirmity. And I personally would tend to agree more to this definition of health, because if we look around ourselves, I mean, life is not merely about being alive. Life is actually about living well. And living well means living well physically, living well mentally, and living well socially. And this is possible only if we are healthy. But if we look at it, health is something which is most ignored in our life. If I look at myself personally, and I am sure many of us would be like, many of you would be like me, we have time for everything. We have time for entertainment, we have time for work. If we have deadlines, we meet all those deadlines. We even have time for social media. We have time for Facebook. But many a times, and many of us do not find time for things like being healthy, like exercising, etc. So I think today is the day when we need to focus on all these things, and we need to focus on the issues which affect health and well-being. We need to identify what needs to be done to ensure that we nurture healthy communities, and we also need to ensure equitable access to health services for all. So I think this is what we would be discussing today. And we need to always remember that our body is a gift which has been given to us by God, and it is our most sacred duty to take care of it. If we do, we live longer and we live healthier and we would be happier. So that is what is important. And let me also share with all of you that the state government has also initiated an interesting program called the Mission Punjab. And under this mission, there are 10 submissions which actually try to encompass all what impacts health, or all what can lead to better health for the citizen of the state. I would also like to share with all of you that at Pushpa Gujarat Science City, we are setting up a Mission Punjab gallery, where you would be able to learn more about health. You would be able to see more about health. The gallery is targeted to the general public as well as to the students. And I hope it would be an interactive gallery. I hope we should be able to see the gallery sometime in the middle of this year, which is around June. That is our target, but let us see whether we can meet that or not. So I thought I'll take this opportunity to tell this to you so that all of you look forward to the coming June, so that you can see the health gallery. We already have a health gallery actually in Pushpa Gujral Science City, but that's more about human body organs, etc. If we talk about health in its total context, as I said, as per the WHO definition, I think the Mission Tandurust Punjab gallery should be able to answer that question. So very warm welcome, Dr. Anjali, to you. I know that doctors are very busy persons, so I thank you for sparing your very valuable time to be with us today. Thank you so very much, and thank you for agreeing to speak to our students, speak to the all the people who are with us on this platform, and to speak to my colleagues. And I'm sure that not only me, all others who are on this platform would be inspired by what you have to say, and probably we'll start looking at our health aspects in a better way and much more closely. So once again, a very warm welcome. A very warm welcome to all the other participants who are here, to the teachers, to the students, if there are any parents, to the parents as well, and to all my colleagues. So we have a lot to learn today. So no more words from my side. The platform goes back to Loveleen. Thank you, Loveleen.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So today we have Dr. Anjali Arora as our expert speaker. Dr. Anjali Arora, she is MD in Community Medicine and Associate Professor in PIMS Medical College and Hospital. She holds specialization in public health nutrition. She is an environmentalist and a zero waste lifestyle promoter. She has worked extensively on drug de-addiction in Punjab, for which PIMS has been recognized at national level with presidential award. So Dr. Anjali, she'll be speaking on our food planet. I request Dr. Anjali to please take over. Ma'am, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Loveleen. Thank you so much, Nilima ma'am, for the warm welcome and a very apt description of World Health Day and what health is being given by you. And I would also like to congratulate you for the coming project at Pushpa Gujral Science City. And thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you. So good afternoon, one and all. I am Dr. Anjali, and I am a preventive health physician at Punjab Institute of Medical Sciences, which is a hospital as well as a medical college. And I am an environmentalist by passion. So today I would really like to thank Nilima ma'am and Dr. Loveleen for inviting me to this platform, as the theme of this year of WHO is all about our environment protection. And I would take this opportunity because I would really want that the students and the youth of our country needs to learn that we now really should consider of the environment and its resources, because we are impending a catastrophe, which is climate change. So shall we start? I would share my content with you. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. So this year's WHO's theme says our planet and our health. So basically, this year's theme is about that we need to reimagine our world where we may have less natural resources and we may need to start thinking of this world this way where we need to conserve and we need to clean our air, water, and food, because this is what is, or it has started happening now. Because we are lacking our natural resources, it is leading to lesser of the cleaner air, water, and food being available to us. So this is this year's theme, and I would start by wishing each one of you a very happy World Health Day. And I would like to start with, let's reimagine our world now. So I would specifically like to talk about the food part today. So we'll be focusing on how we and our food and our planet is connected and what we need to think about it. Okay, so as we all know that we are advancing technologically, and in health also we have advanced a lot. The life expectancy, global life expectancy has increased. It was about near 40 somewhere in 1950 and it has reached 80 now. The poverty all over the world is decreasing, mostly in the developed world, although. And the other health indicators like the child mortality or the infant mortality, which means the number of children that used to die per year per 1,000 live births, has significantly reduced now. And we have reached a very significant reduction where now, where earlier more than 100 infants used to die, now we have limited this to 30 per 1,000 live births, which is a kind of very good health indicator in terms of, if we say, child health. So these are the basic health indicators which show that our health is improving day by day. Our statistics is improving and getting better. But to reach this statistics or to improve our health indicators, the toll has been paid by our planet. We have been somehow exploiting, or we can say depleting, our natural resources as daily our population is increasing. And to achieve better health, better world, better advancements, we are depleting our resources. Today, carbon dioxide emissions have reached more than 400 parts per million, and India this year recorded 413 carbon dioxide emissions. Our oceans are acidified now, which means that the carbon dioxide which we are producing, our oceans actually absorb them. So when it is the level is very high, ocean starts acidifying. Its pH decreases, which is very harmful for the sea life. The animals, the coral reefs, they are not able to sustain their life when there is acidification of the ocean. Our daily energy consumption is increasing.
Dr. Anjali is not audible.
Anjali ma'am, are you there?
Loveleen, can you call her up and find out? Because her presentation has also stopped.
She didn't even realize कि आवाज नहीं आ रही है. हाँ जी मैम, आप एक बार लॉग आउट करके लॉग इन कर लीजिए, नहीं तो. She'll be logging in again, ma'am.
Okay.
पाठक सर, अंजलि मैम को को-होस्ट बना दो.
Ma'am, shall I start it again?
Yes, ma'am. जहाँ पे आपने छोड़ा था वहीं पे, I guess it was
वहीं
third.
से?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Visible?
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Audible?
Yeah, you are audible, ma'am.
Okay. Shall I start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. So we were basically talking about the resources we have exploited and what is our present stage of the planet today. We were on the uses of the fertilizer. I was talking about how extensively we are using our fertilizers today and how it is leading to making our lands barren and decreasing the quality of food, leading to further deforestation, decreasing the rains, and leading to the loss of biodiversity on Earth. So it's a kind of a vicious cycle that we are creating for our own planet. Okay, so this is one term which is being used, Earth Overshoot Day, which is a term established to raise awareness about what the problem is, what actually the climate change is. This term basically tells us that how much natural resources of the earth we are depleting every day to how much it is actually present. So on a precise, what it is we are exhausting our natural resources, which we are not able to generate. And this means that the earth today we have is not what can fulfill the humanity or life on earth. We would require more. So say we have one earth present, but what we require today is 1.7 earths for a year. And we can describe it as that to grow our food or to live our lives the way we are living it, we are consuming more water, using more land, what we actually have. You're growing more food, doing more agriculture, using more fossil fuels, and letting more carbon dioxide, greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which our planet cannot sustain. We calculate it as Earth Overshoot Day. Earlier, when we used to calculate it in around year 2000 or so, it used to be somewhere around October, which means that around October, we used to reach a limit of our using of the natural resources. And today, till this year, we have shifted this date to in say August, or sometimes it comes in July also. So this is what basically is happening to our earth. We have wiped out 60% of the biodiversity or the animal population from years since 1970. And okay, so now we have been talking about what all harm we have caused to the earth. And then our today's topic, which is about food. So now wondering, what does food have to do with this? How is food leading to the climate change, or say depleting our earth's resources? Food basically is the fundamental thing which a mankind, or say all animals, require. It is our survival. So to achieve this, what we are doing is we have 25% of our greenhouse gases emissions are only from the agriculture, and the biodiversity loss, 80% is only from the agriculture. And 40% of our land surface we are using just to grow our food. This graph shows that the habitat and the biodiversity loss that has occurred over a period of time, and the causes agriculture stands tallest. So agriculture is the biggest cause of loss of habitat and loss of biodiversity on Earth. This map shows that the areas which are marked in red are basically the dead zones. So this is the amount of land which is now totally barren, and we cannot use it, or is neither useful for growing our food, nor it has any habitat or biodiversity left. Okay, so now here is the point of focus, that while we are, say, depleting our natural resources daily and overshooting our earth to this level, we should have achieved the best of health, but the malnutrition still persists, and because of what we are eating, we are leading to the non-communicable diseases. The non-communicable diseases are basically the obesity, hypertension, diabetes, which is due to the type, or say the amount of food half of the population of our global earth which is consuming. So coming back to the term malnutrition, this is also a term that has been given by World Health Organization. And what is malnutrition? Malnutrition is said to be characterized by the deficiencies, excesses, or imbalances in person's intake of food. And in a broad term, it can be divided into two types. One is undernutrition and one is overnutrition. And this is coexisting today in our world, in globally also and in India also. Half of the population is undernourished, half of the population is overnourished. It is leading to the overnutrition. And this also shows the kind of inequality which we are facing today, that while we have reached a point where we are depleting our natural resources, leading to good health statistics, where somewhere half of our population, our children, are wasted, they are underweight, they are suffering from some of the other micronutrient deficiencies, and then we are also suffering from overeating, that is obesity, which is further leading to hypertension and diabetes. 820 million people are still undernourished. 151 million children are stunted. Stunted means they are small in their height for what is required at their age, which is a cause, is the chronic undernutrition. Wasted, 51 million of the children are wasted. Wasted means they are underweight. Jitna weight unka hona chahiye as per their age, they don't have it. They are malnourished in undernutrition. And then there are micronutrient deficiencies, like the children, they appear that they are fat, but what they lack is the micronutrient deficiencies. Micronutrients are the basic vitamins and minerals which are also required for the well-being of our body, or for our physical health. And these are some of the statistics of malnutrition, which is in India. 60% of the deaths in India today are caused by diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular diseases. which is due to the overnutrition and due to the micronutrient deficiencies. This means the type of food which we are consuming is not the right food, what we are eating today. Then there is a high economic burden that is being caused by the foodborne diseases in India, because we are still not clear in the communicable disease. We have not reached the hygiene level. So it is also leading to the other foodborne diseases. And then the food wastage stark figures, I'll be talking about them later also. This says that the total production of food in India is 100%. Out of it, 40% of the food is wasted or lost every year in India. That means if we are growing 100, usme se 40 we are not getting or is not available to eat. It is wasted somewhere. So where is it wasted? We'll see later. And these are the malnourishment figures of particularly India. Okay, so there is this one term which some of you may be aware of, is the SDGs, also known as the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, what are these SDGs? Sustainable Development Goals are basically some kind of goals or objectives that are devised by United Nations organization. Many of us are aware of it. These are basically made so that we reach a kind of a complete health somewhere, which Nilima ma'am was also mentioning what health is. So through these sustainable development goals, we want to achieve a total health for us and to take care of our planet as well as the way we live. So when we read these sustainable development goals, we would see that each and every of these 17 sustainable development goals are somewhere or the other related to the food we consume or the agriculture practices that we are currently focusing on. So this is, of course, food is fundamental. So now we have seen what the problem is. Let's talk about the solution. So what can be done? Yes, something has to be done. This figure shows that there are two ends of the food system that we need to consider now. So basically, we want to establish or derive or come to some food system where there is a respect of the planetary boundaries and as well as our health is being taken care of. These are the scientific targets which we have, which is factful, that what we require for our health to be proper or what we need to eat to be healthy is we need whole grains, we need vegetables, fruits, proteins, dairy, and some sort of added fat, oils or ghee or whatever we need. And when we want these things, we want to grow them in a manner so that we take care of the planetary boundaries, which is basically a bigger home where we want to live. And if we take care of this planetary boundaries, then only we can be totally healthy. And what we need to take care of under this planetary boundaries is how much greenhouse gases emission, how much water we are using, how much nitrogen flows, how much biodiversity we are losing, and how much land is being converted to either agricultural land, or we are losing the habitat and the biodiversity, or it is becoming barren and becoming dead. To reach this food system, we need to know the diets which can respect the health as well as the health of the planet. So what are these healthy and as well as the sustainable diets? Foods can be considered sustainable when they respect the biodiversity and the ecosystem. So what is this biodiversity and the ecosystem? Basically, we can only survive on this planet when the other lives are also given the equal importance. The other animals, the other plants, our forests, the whole of this system forms the ecosystem, and we can only function when this ecosystem is, there, it is available to us. If we keep on losing this, we humans can also not survive on this planet. Then to achieve this, it has to be affordable and accessible. As we have seen that there's a lot of hunger, which means that there are people who cannot afford this diet, and then it may not be accessible to many. So we need to develop a system where it is affordable also, accessible also, then it is taking care of the natural resources. Also, it should be nutritionally healthy and safe to safeguard our health and health statistics. It should be culturally acceptable to everybody. And this diet, when we achieve, can only be known as healthy and sustainable. So to achieve this, what we have talked about, the healthy and the sustainable diet, we need to develop some system. The food pyramid, I think this is being taught to us very early stages in class 5 or 6, what is food pyramid. What we are going to study today is the double food pyramid. So the science has finally proven through its facts that nature doesn't do anything with chance. Everything is kind of planned by nature. So this pyramid which we have developed, which is we have seen is scientifically correct way to eat, is this pyramid. And this says that if we eat food in this particular way, where when we consume more vegetables, fruits and whole grains, and less of the dairy or cakes, pastries, processed food, we will keep ourselves healthy. Now the upside down pyramid shows the same thing. It says that our environment also respects the same thing. We can keep our planet and our natural resources intact when we follow a same pattern. If we eat less of the things which are on the upper side of the pyramid, that is at the base of this pyramid, it is good for our environment also. So the point to remember is the foods that are good for the planet are also the foods which are good for our health. So basic 3 tips which we need to adopt in our today's lifestyle is that we need to increase our plant-based food intake. We should try considering buying in a way where we are not wasting food. And we should try to limit our animal proteins, because this is the type of food which is leading to much of the greenhouse gas emissions or biodiversity loss or water loss on Earth. This shows the plate which we should adopt, which is healthy for our health as well as healthy for our environment. This shows that maximum of our, if the food we eat daily has to be put on one single plate, then this plate should look like this, that there are maximum fruits and vegetables on our plate with whole grains and healthy proteins, limiting the animal proteins. Then we should try to stay active, adopt healthy type of oils and consume safe water. Then one more problem which coexists is the food waste. Food waste also creates an equal amount of carbon footprints, or you can say the greenhouse gas emissions on our planet, as the agriculture or growing of food is creating. It's been seen that in India particularly, 50 kgs of food is being wasted per person per year. That means 50 kg food, so every Indian household per person is just throwing away. And this is accounting for 37% of the greenhouse gas emissions. And it is losing 70% of our fresh water, which we are using for irrigation and agriculture. And 40% of the land surface is only used for agriculture and farming, and then we are just wasting half of our food. In India, 40% of the production of grains is being wasted just because we don't have a cold chain developed and our food chain system is not proper. Our public distribution system is lacking. The grains, the food, the vegetables, and the fruits that we are growing, 40% of the share is just getting wasted. This is an illustration which shows that if today we keep on wasting our food, tomorrow we may not be, this planet may not be available to us. And now the one more point that we need to consider is about the food packaging. Almost all the food which we are talking about today or which we are saying is less good for
Dr. Anjali, we can't hear you. Dear participants, कुछ technical issues आ रहे हैं डॉक्टर अंजलि के end पे. She will be logging again. विशाल, अंजलि मैम को co-host बना दो.
Okay, ma'am, just wait.
She logged in again.
Yes, done, ma'am.
No, she's right. Anjali ma'am, we can see you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what is the problem.
कभी technical issues हो जाते हैं मैम.
Yeah. Visible?
Hanji ma'am, visible. Right, visible.
Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry.
No, ma'am, please.
Okay, so we were talking about the packaging, the food packaging. So basically, as I was saying, that the food which we are talking is, say, unhealthy for our health also, and as well as our planet, is mainly the processed and the newly marketed food these days, which is packed, processed, and you must have seen all these food packaging that I'm trying to talk about is one is made up of single-use plastic. Second, it is typically thrown away just in, say, seconds when we have consumed that food or when we have brought it home. And then where it ends up is either in the landfill or it just litters here and there. And many of these packings are multi-layered packaging, which means that they cannot be recycled, they cannot be reused, and they cannot be composted. So this is also one of the biggest impact that our packaged and processed food is having on our environment. It is leading to lots and lots of waste that is being created and is filling up our landfills, our oceans. Because these single-use plastic items that we are using and throwing away never degrade, never they are composted, they are just lying down on our planet since the day they have been produced. This is the timeline. This graph is showing the timeline that it takes for these single-use plastic products to go away from the environment. Practically, they never go away. So we need to consider before we buy, and we need to ask for replacement of these packaging from these companies who are just marketing the food which is bad for our health, the food which is bad for our planet, as well as it is creating a havoc on our planet in terms of waste, litter. And these are some of the pictures which show how these packaging are bad for our environment. They are just piling up here and there. They are creating unsafe environment. They are the cause of many diseases, and they are almost killing our sea life. These figures show that these are the top 10 items that have been collected from the oceans, from the beaches. So while we were talking about the double pyramid, or say the food that we need to consider, which is both healthy and sustainable, there is this one diet which has been now scientifically proven to be good for our health as well as for our planet, and it is the Mediterranean diet. So this particular diet says that the food which consists of more of the vegetables, fresh fruits, nuts, legumes, and whole grains are good for our environment as well as are best for our health. WHO says that the Mediterranean diet is dying, and so is our Indian diet. And while it is scientifically proven fact that this Mediterranean diet is a diet which is actually a diet to go for, which we require is sustainable and is healthy. I came across this shlok from Bhagavad Gita, which almost says the same thing, which says the food which promotes life, vitality, strength, health, joy, and cheerfulness are sweet, soft, nourishing, agreeable, and are dear to the good. Which basically means the same, that the diet which consists of more of the fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and less of the animal protein is good for our health. This is how our Indian indigenous diet used to be. It consisted of the same thing that today science is proving to be good for our health as well as for the sustainable our planet. And this is how only we can sustain our lives on this planet, if we adopt this diet. It Our Indian culture has always been promoting diverse grains, lentils, millets. Our comfort food, khichdi, is proven to be now one of the best food that we should eat. Then the use of fresh fruits, herbs, vegetables, whole grains, or spices are the foods to go for. So basically, we need to do nothing but to adopt or come back to what our grandmothers used to say. Adopt our local diet and indigenous Indian ways of eating. What should we do at our level is should work on consuming our natural resources in this way that we are able to move the date. This move the date is related to the Earth Overshoot Day that we talked about early in the presentation. The date that I was talking about has shifted to August or July somewhere. So we need to shift it. We need to move it to the other side and move it as far as possible so that we can sustain life on this planet further. And it has been significantly proven, scientifically, factfully proven that if we only stop wasting food, in 1 year we will gain 11 days. And if we do not waste just meat, 15 days will be gained in this Earth Overshoot Day. These are some of the further tips that I would like to share. Is to adopt this lifestyle, we should try buy our groceries from the local producers and avoid highly processed and packaged food, and buy less plastic and try using recyclable grocery bags next time when we go shopping. And this is one video that I would like to share.
We live in a world where
It's a summary
undernutrition
kind of a
and
thing.
obesity can exist side by side in the same country, home, or even person. Foods high in sugars, salt, and/or unhealthy fats are leading to unhealthy diets and are one reason why children may not be growing healthily, while causing other people to develop overweight or obesity. The consumption of unhealthy diets is heavily influenced by marketing. Easy access is fueling this new nutrition reality, but thankfully, change towards a healthier future is possible. By having a sustainable healthy diet made up of a variety of foods that are safe for consumption, we can promote health and have better abilities to fight illness. How do we do this? Good nutrition for women during pregnancy and for children in their first 1,000 days of life, including breastfeeding, sets them up for healthy adulthood and future generations. We should eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, pulses, nuts and seeds, and less sugary drinks and foods high in sugars, salt and unhealthy fats. The less of these foods we buy, the more the food industry will be encouraged to produce foods that contribute to healthy diets. We can also call on our leaders to make the right decisions so that every person, everywhere, can afford and access good nutrition. When people like you and me, industries and governments work together to make positive changes, we can create a healthier world.
So this year's WHO's theme says our planet, our health. We need to clean our air, water and food. Hashtag for the healthier tomorrow. I would request all of you to please join this campaign and use your social media handles to promote this WHO's theme. And at last, I would like to end my presentation with this quote from one of my favorite books, which says that when you have finished washing and dressing each morning, you must tend your planet. I think it says it all. It should be this important for each one of us that after we are done washing and dressing each morning, we should look and tend to the needs of our planet. And this is what is the need of today to sustain life on this earth further. Thank you.
Loveleen, please open it for discussions or questions.
For enlightening our minds. I'm sure this is going to impact our lives in future. Participants, if you have any questions from Dr. Anjali, please raise your hands. We will unmute you. आप अपना question chat box में भी डाल सकते हैं, or else please raise your hands. बच्चों आप किसी भी लैंग्वेज में पूछ सकते हो, इंग्लिश, हिंदी, पंजाबी. No question.
So, I would say बच्चों को presentation इतनी अच्छी लगी कि और वो सोच रहे हैं कि हम ऐसा क्या क्या करें कि हम अपनी health को बचा सकें. Is it right, children?
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, I would say that 1 hour is really, very less for the vast topics like this. And, even I was kya dale, kya na dale, in kind of a state.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you for this platform. Agar bacche thoda sa bhi change la sake, so it will be really helpful, and it is the need of the hour also.
Yes, ma'am. And we have a question
from Poonam Jarayal. Poonam, please unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am, I have unmuted myself.
Yes, please.
Ma'am, I just want to know how can we healthy without, if we want some, we want some unhygienic food, like sometimes we also want we can eat, we want pizza, and if sometimes we can take, then it is healthier or not for us.
Yeah, okay. So Poonam, here I would like to say that everything when done in moderation is the key. So कभी-कभी थोड़ा-थोड़ा खाने में कोई भी problem नहीं है. The reason and the thing is कि हम लोग यही खाने लगे. बस वही problem है.
Yes, that is right.
Yeah.
Thank
and
you.
then there are other healthy options which you can adopt. अगर आप घर पे पिज़्ज़ा बना लो and उसमें बहुत सारी सब्जियां डाल दो, you can make it better for your health. And
yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
मैडम का कहना है कि पिज्जा तो खाना है, खा लो कोई बात नहीं, पर करेले भी खाना साथ में.
और पिज्जा भी कभी-कभी खाना.
हाँ, एक ऐड आती है ना, किसी मसाले की ऐड आती है. तो आई थिंक वो एड्स भी बहुत ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट करती हैं हमारे बच्चों की
this is definitely very important part. Marketing is the actually reason behind this shift that has occurred.
Yes, ma'am, we get very much attracted when seeing their pictures, like their pizza and something very delicious that when they come in front of us.
Yes, but if they, at the same time, I would also say that now we have ads about oats biscuits and ragi biscuits and things like that. So wo bhi hai. So
Yes,
I think we as individual consumers, we have to choose what we want and what we not want, and that decision has to be taken by us only.
Yes, ma'am, this all depends on us, that whether we want to get healthy life or unhealthy life.
We have a lot of power as a consumer actually, if we use it wisely and rightly. Well said, ma'am. Yeah.
Any other question, please?
कुछ बच्चे तो इसीलिए चुप बैठे हैं कि क्वेश्चन पूछा तो कहीं पिज्जा मम्मी काट ना देकर.
I'm sure, ma'am. Okay, now we'll wind up. I request Dr. Rajesh Grover, Director, Pushpa Gujarat Science City, to propose vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Loveleen, and it's my pleasure to propose a vote of thanks at the occasion. And hearty thanks to Dr. Anjali Arora, Associate Professor in the Department of Community Medicine at PIMS Jalandhar, for sparing her valuable time and to be with us this afternoon to deliver an expert talk at the occasion of this World Health Day 2022. She has precisely stressed the need for sustainable diets to improve our well-being without compromising our planet. Thank you very much, Dr. Anjali, for your presence and sharing your valuable views at the occasion. And I would also like to express my gratitude to Dr. Nilima Jarat, Worthy Director General, PGSC, for her presence and moral support. We are grateful to her for sharing words of wisdom and gracing the occasion. And I would like to convey our sincere thanks to all our participants who joined us today, and as well as their patient listening. Last but not the least, I take this opportunity to extend my sincere thanks for all my colleagues for their direct and indirect support, from Ms. Manpreet and Dr. Lavleen to organize this show and make it a success. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Anjali.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Shall I leave?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.